Yo, what's up, YouTube? It's your boy Galaxy Gaming, and today I'm gonna talk about Zendikar Rising. Finally, I got to play with the cards. So, every now and then, I like to do what's called a palette cleanser. What a palette cleanser is right when spoiler season starts for the next set, before the full set is out, people start talking about spoilers, judging cards, and sometimes I feel like people are like too down on cards or mechanics, and like people's opinions is too strong. So
I say, hold up, wait a minute, something ain't right. Because then I start to taste them. I say, and then I start to smell them. So it's like a smell like tastes like, I was like,
I stopped reading articles. I stopped listening to podcasts. I'm pretty much unplugged from the Magic community and just have the palette cleanser. And what that allows me to do is that when I'm cracking these packs, I get this sense of wonder, like, oh my gosh, I have no idea what's in here. I have no idea, what's going on. As I read every card, I have that fresh palette, the fresh canvas, to where I can look at a card and evaluate it for myself before I go out and hear what the pros have to say or look at draft videos. I get to have like my own first take on it, and that's really fun. Guys, if you like Magic content and like hearing about Limited, hit that like button and subscribe to your boy's channel. It means a lot to me. So let me talk a little bit about my two seals that I've done so far. My first sealed, I opened up this crazy vamp, first rare, first pack, and I was like, wow, this is awesome. And as I'm opening up my sealed, I noticed that I keep getting drawn into like, what's this thing with the swarm and the vampires? What's going on? And I'm loving the flavor of the vamps and the rogues, and I'm thinking I'm gonna go black red vamps, and that's what I ended up doing. It went pretty good. I had this really cool synergy with, I call them the triplet sisters. Game 2, I actually got all three out with the 2/2 Death Touchers. It goes hard, and there's a whole cycle for each class. And those cards are really cool because it forces you to like, how many rogues can I have in here? And you can go like into a class versus how much should I focus on party and do I have the party payoff? I found that in Sealed, you really have to get kind of lucky to have a big party payoff. So you have to kind of search for that zone of how many classes do you want to be in versus what if I focus on these rogues, maybe I can get these cool effects. And that was really fun and interesting. The other thing was trying to figure out how to count the flip cards, land versus spell. I ended up going more towards a 50-50 ratio and leaning a little bit more towards spell. About half the time, hey, you go ahead and use it as land. That's been working pretty good so far. The sealed went great. Callie ended up having this really awesome synergy in black and green, where she had these +1/+1 counter matters cards that like give her creatures counters, or they come in with counters, or like when creature dies there's counters. Just a bunch of like get the engine going of getting the counters on, plus landfall. What's that card? Oblivion's Hunger or something, where I would attack in, she would cast it, draw a card, my creature dies, and just a blowout. So I learned real quick about that combat trick. She also had like this ooze and this hydra, but I really enjoyed just the art. The merfolk, they have this like cartoony, the blue cards have like this cartoony cel-shaded vibe, and the warriors feeling fierce, the rogues looking like ninjas, and they're always like with like a blade, or like off balance jumping and flipping, and they have like flash, and they're doing tricky stuff. And then the warriors, with the sword poses, wizards with their staff, like. And I also love the full art lands, like when you cast that full art mount and you're just like, and the lands in this set and the aesthetics, it feels like very tilted, or you have a sense of movement and gravity. She's here and everything's tilted and they're climbing. So I think they just delivered fully on the flavor. For the second sealed, I ended up going Gruul, green, red. Green just seems so hardy. Animals and found in nature, so it takes away from the party and you go more like raw nature magic. I knew I was going to be green. I had some pretty strong green cards, and just a splash of that red, I ended up putting a good fight Callie took down the first one, she took down the second one. Man, for her second deck, she had a black white vampire cleric light kind of deck. Really just a value deck. But overall, I'm super impressed with this set. As I was cracking the packs and we're evoking these feelings where you're seeing the art and the card and the cleverness. Like there's this one that there's like a cat stalker, I forget its name, but or a beast. It's like on these vines and it's like looking and it's about to pounce. And then when you landfall, it gets +2/+2 and it's striking. But the flavor says you can almost see it calculating its move because if that land's not there, it's not going to strike. But if you play the land, it gets confident to strike. And the way they tie in the mechanic of whatever's going on to like the art and the flavor and the world, it just really puts you into that world. And I love how it brought me in and made me feel like giddy and wow, like that sense of discovery, to things like the utility knife, the supply packages, the pack beast, the veteran, how he's like, how can I be of assistance? He's like the pro, how there's like these guides and there's a sense of like, you could go without the guide and probably you're gonna die, or like this, hire me, or you need this guide. And it felt like you were going on these little expeditions and stuff. You get these great decisions about party versus landfall, versus if you're gonna kick something or not, if you're gonna play the land or the spell side, and it's all coming together in beautiful ways. So I felt like it was a very steady climb, from early, mid to late game. Hope everyone's enjoying the set. Let me know what you guys think. I have a little interview. Let me know what your favorite card of the set is, your favorite art of the set, and your favorite gameplay moment so far. A fun little story that happened to you while you're interacting with these cards. It's called like something of abundance, where Callie kicked this spell and I felt like I was just on the hunt, on the prowl, getting her down. I was about to win 1-2 more turns, and she was maneuvering the game in this way where she ended up being able to kick this card. And I was like, yeah, abundance for sure. Because after that, it's like she just completely stabilized. And that game is so fun. Zendikar Rising Limited is so fun. I'm so happy right now. I hope you guys are enjoying it too, having a great weekend. Thank you again so much, guys. Have a great day.